Jennifer,
Hi.
you look cheerful and you're ready for the new year?
I'm so ready for the new year. I've already started making my New Year's resolutions
Really?
because I'm still one of those people that does it.
Yeah. So you're one of the late entries.
I
As,
am.
as long as you get it in under the wire, you qualify.
I do. I do. The last part of the year is when I go, I better get serious about these things. So,
Well, many people are the same way. I'm the same way. I used to have resolutions. I used to make my resolutions at the end of summer.
Did you?
Yeah, and to see if I could hold on to them by the end of the year. And normally I would just cave in. I'd say I've got to amend my resolutions. I've got to get realistic about my resolutions.
I asked someone today what their resolution was, and they said to not eat Brussels sprouts and that they've stuck to it for 50 years.
My favorite.
I know. I
Really my
like
favorite.
Brussels
Why would
sprouts.
someone do that?
They get a bad rap. I don't know why.
Well, you're depriving themselves of one of the most beautiful cruciferous vegetables on the planet.
And they're so good for you. And
Well,
they're
they
not
have
bad.
they have a thing in them, a element called diindolyl methane, DIM, and
Methane sounds dangerous.
no, it's perfect.
Okay.
It's what your system needs to detoxify itself. All the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, the cabbage family, which I think Brussels sprouts are a part of, and Brussels sprouts do a great job of oxidizing all the liver toxins, which is what you need. Your liver is the biggest chemist,
Right.
and you have to have that in an acid alkaline balance for optimal health, and that's what you try to do. The system is always every day fighting to stay balanced acid alkaline wise, and green and yellow vegetables are your life's blood for your health. And for people to just say, I don't like broccoli, I don't like this, I don't like that, really doing a big disservice.
It's like fuel for your system. Just put in a little and see.
Just shut up and eat it.
Fred Dreyer says, and you don't want to argue with
No,
you.
no, that's what my mom used to tell me. Just shut up and eat it. Frederick, stop picking around your peas and just eat them.
Just eat the peas.
Hey, listen, one of the interesting things that's going on is the decline of Newt Gingrich
Yeah.
and the ascension of the screwy
Ron Paul.
in Iowa. And so I look at that and I think that, well, okay, Newt is probably is balanced and teetering on brilliance and disaster. And I'm always optimistic enough. I want to try to mine out Newt's brilliance, but yet at the same time be aware that he could self-destruct.
Right. And I've heard this before, that Newt is a really, really smart guy, but he has some managing issues, I guess, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
He has a hard time managing people, and that's probably evidence in the fact that he didn't get enough signatures to get on the ballot in
Right.
certain areas. And
I think his machinery is a little weak.
yeah. I like him, though. I mean,
I do like
he's the
him.
best debater. If you've seen any
Yeah.
of the debates, he clearly has won almost all of them.
Yeah, no, I do like him. Many people do, but I also think that people are frightened. And this is the time where the people within the party, the battle, the strength of the voice from the neocon hangover from the failure of John McCain. Now, and the battle between the folks, the grassroots Americans, the Tea Partyites, who were responsible for the big turnaround and the big resurgence last November, a year ago, in 10. In that overwhelming landslide that put a roadblock to Obama and all the progressive commie liberal socialists and their agenda, and telling America telling them that we don't want to go down that road and you got to go back toward the Constitution, right of center, at least center
Yeah.
right, and so the Republican Party is having a difficult time doing that because there's a liberal faction within there. I think Newt and anybody that is a politician in this culture today has to be political, and that Newt would do an ad with Bella Lugosi Pelosi about global warming, and sit on
Yeah.
the couch with her is politics to me.
Politicking.
It's politics to me. It's like Mitt Romney saying, "Okay, we're going to try, a government mandated single payer insurance and healthcare in Massachusetts.
Right.
And
I liked it, but I didn't like it, but I kind of liked it.
And so, okay, if that's what they want, if that's what I have to do to get in and have people consider me to win office, I'm doing it.
Right.
And that's politics, which is what is interesting. You know, I was talking to your dad, you know, for your listeners, Michael Horn, who's my usual guest here. We're just blessed to have Jennifer with us today. But in talking with your dad about why I wanted to do this show was to break the format of politics as usual and start talking about common sense and reason. Don't turn your thinking over to a politic.
Right.
Allow yourself.
Because they don't think.
Well, they don't. It's politics.
It's cover your rear end is what it is.
It's the manipulation and the engineering of the truth. And that's what put us into this hole. That's why you've got leftists that are making a demand with these sound bites and through the medium of news and print medium, electronic medium, who are sending out this propaganda that if you desire to make money, or if you have investments, or if you are rich, that you're evil.
Yeah.
And so that narrative is being lost in the face of what happened last November. And so what your dad and I, Mike Horn, talked about doing was talking about all this stuff and going at really uncovering what I believe the real problem is in America. It's one thing to have people who disagree. See, I'm not going to wave a sword at progressive liberals.
Right.
That's wonderful in a free, balanced culture. But what's happening now, it's not free, balanced. It's being engineered in that direction. I don't like that. I want our kids to be taught a right of center, constitutional, conservative beliefs.
Common sense, good values.
Common sense. Common sense and reason, not a politic. I don't want them to be taught how to be Republican, and I don't want them to be taught how to be political and to be a leftist. And so what's happening is there's a huge, like we're talking about the liver, you know, the constant battle between acid and alkaline. The left is acid. The right is too alkaline. And what you try to do is you try to balance the two so they live cohesively, if that's possible.
That's a great analogy.
And it can. You have to get away from the acidity of the left and at least allow yourself to understand we are a constitutional republic. And it's only through the constitutional republic that we can communicate with one another and handle our problems and fix the out of balance acidity and alkalinity that is in the country. And so what I've always been a big believer in is doing research, finding things out, use your common sense, use reason, and the last resort is politics. But when you're talking about the art of politics, you know what the art of politics today really is a calumnious attack, ad hominem attack on individuals and propaganda. That is wrong. That is wrong.
More on the art of politics here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. It is the Fred Dryer Show.